Well, welcome to the Board Game Network. I'm going to be doing a gameplay for the game Hanabi. This is going to be an advanced technique video that shows more examples of finesse. I've talked about finesse in a previous video, and so if you want more expanded explanation, make sure you find that other video. And I just want to give you some other examples of finesse. Okay, you'll notice here in with advanced players, they almost never will clue something like this to save it unless it's been discarded and it's the second card, so that it doesn't get lost. Here the 2 white gets clued, but the 4th player may think that it may be a non-playable one, and we're just trying to save it, even though there's no 2 in the discard. He doesn't play it right away here, but we come back and clue the 3, and that cluing of that 3 tells him that his 2 is ready to go, and this 3 is going to go right behind it because there's no 3 that's been discarded, so that's not a save either. And now you'll notice that the 4 gets clued. There's no 4s in the discard, so the second player knows that that's not a save. That is something that's going to be thrown right after the 3 gets thrown. So everybody should know their colors at this point because they can see each other's hands. And you always want to optimize your clues so that you're giving as much information as you can. Okay, at this point, and this is an example of optimizing your clues. If player 4 would have included a 2, he would have known to play it. But the 5 for sure needed to be saved also. So cluing the color allowed him to know to play the left one, and he doesn't know what about the right one, but he's not going to play it. He's just going to hold on to it. But it allows one clue to save 2 cards, or play 1 card, save 1 card, instead of using 2 clues, one to tell him to play, one to tell him to hold onto the other one. So always look for a way to clue multiple things if you can. And always be willing to think outside the box too. Ways of doing things. Okay, here's an example of this, what I'm talking about. Here's the 3 blue, right? There's no 3 blue in the discard, so we don't really need to save it. There's a 1 there. It would be nice to save it, but it's not really necessary. And here's a 3 green that we for sure need to save because that one has already been discarded, the other copy of it. Okay, so if he clues 3s to save it, the second player might want to play that 3 green. So instead of doing that, you look and you see, well, there's 1s, and every single slot has already been filled with 1, so he knows to discard those 2 first before he does anything with the other 2. So that will allow him to hold on to both of those 3s until the 2 1s have been discarded. Okay, we got the first finesse coming up here just shortly. Okay, here comes the clue down here for player 4. He just got clued yellows. This one is not playable. The one yellow's there, but he got clued to play this left card, and it's not playable. So every player is going to look, and player 2's not going to see a 2 yellow to make that playable. Therefore, they're going to assume that it's this newest card because there's no other 2's that have been clued him, or no yellows that have been clued him, that he would think it's a different card. So you'll see player 2 go ahead and take the finesse and play the 2 yellow. Now you'll notice that one just got clued right there. You've got a yellow. You know that one's discardable. He doesn't need to know that information for sure. So the information being given is here's your yellow card, but he looks and sees, well, here's the 3, here's the 4, so I've got the 5. The other possibility is it's a 4 multicolor. That's a possibility. I don't have any idea if I've got a 4 multicolor. Here's the other 4 multicolor, but he does hold on to it here. I get 3's clued here by the second player, and looking around I see that only the red 3 is playable. No other 3's are playable, but if I look in the discard to see if if he wants me to save one of these from being this duplicate copy, there's a green that needs to be saved, but I can see the other green 3. No other 3's, so I would predict that this one here on the right is the red 3, because if the red one was this one, he would let this one get discarded. So I would be predicting that that's a red 3. However, the third player came back and clued red, so I knew for sure that some people will play that way, some people won't play that way. Anyway, he did it, and that's fine. We had plenty of clues over here, so that wasn't an issue of being low on clues. Okay, also, because you'll remember he had the 3 yellow and the 4 yellow, and this one got clued as a playable card, he knows that one of these is a 4 anyway, because this one got clued to play. So he knew this is kind of a finesse. He is going to take the gamble that it's his left card, because usually you play from left to right. He doesn't know what this one would be, but he's making the assumption that's the yellow 4 there. And we're quickly coming up on another finesse example here. Okay. The second player just got clued green, which this one is discardable. The green 3 is not playable yet. That certainly wouldn't be clued as a save, because it's not on the chop or in the discard or the spot that would be discarded normally. So I am being clued that I have the 2 green here to make that one playable as a finesse. Okay, at this point we're down to 1, 3 left to play. I've got a 3 in my hand. Nope, it's not this. Okay, at this point There's only one red card left to play. That's the 4 red. I've got a red here. There are no bombs that have been thrown at this point. There's only 8 cards left in the deck. So the likelihood of hitting 3 bombs is not very good. I think we're going to make it through here. I may be sitting on the 4 red there. So, or it could have been the 4 multicolor. So I go ahead and try to play it. It ends up being a 2 multicolor. So it throws a bomb. Not a big deal when you're this close to the end. Okay, here we have a clue of a 5. So that 5 is not playable. So once again, this is a finesse, and we're telling the third player here that he has a card that can be played. So just once again, there's an example. Okay, at this point, we only have 2 cards left, 3 cards left to play. A 4-5 red and a 5 multicolor. Here's the 5 multicolor. It's going to go real quick, but there he just drew the 4 and the 5. So he has 2 of the 3 cards, and you'll notice we're running very low on cards here. When you really have to watch your draw deck, because whoever draws that last card gets 2 plays, and third player, needs 2 plays to get both of those cards out of his hand. So if at all possible, we have to let this third player draw that last card. So it's a good thing we have a few clue tokens out there. And you'll notice, okay, he now gets clued that here's his 4 from me. But you'll notice the second player just gives a bogus clue so that he doesn't draw this last card. And then the third player goes ahead and gets the last card, and then it's going to play around, and we're going to get 30 points. So once again, we got the 30 points and got a perfect game. But that was several finesses in there during this game, and a few other odd tips in there. But once again, that's how you play finesse. I'll be giving some other advanced player techniques in some future videos. But once again, I hope with these 2 videos on finesse that you have a good understanding of how finesse works. Leave comments down below for sure on if you use this, or if you have questions on how it works and you don't understand quite how it works or something. You do want to always make sure that you're looking at the discard always to determine whether something is a save instead of a finesse or something. So anyway, tune in to all of our Board Game Network videos.